be so quick to want to sit somebody down and wonder if the owner should have cause for alarm so early. I mean, this is Eli Manning we're talking about. I mean, they could have said the same thing. Look at the Colts throw away Peyton.
Right.
Okay, look at Peyton now. I mean, I'm saying, be stupid if you want to, Giants. That's all I can say.
Why is everybody questioning the Giants all of a sudden this year?
Well, because the Giants are starting to slip in their winnings, and they played a horrible game against the Bengals, and so now they're looking at them and they're saying, what is going on with the Giants? I mean, are they going to be able to survive losing? They're 6-4. I mean, in the NFC East,
and weeks 3 and 4, all we heard was the Giants this and the Giants that. True. Now everybody's complaining.
Well, they lost their last 2 games, big games for them. But I mean, they were under a lot of pressure. They had a lot going on after Sandy. We're not blaming it on Sandy. The storm.
But they got to have something to blame it on.
No, we're blaming it on Sandy. But I'm not going to blame it on Eli. I just don't think this is called.
That's what Eli said. Blame it on Sandy, not on me.
Exactly. But I tell you what I'll blame it on. I'll blame it on the fact that Andy Dalton had a freaking ridiculous game. 21 of 30 for 109 passing yards and freaking 4 touchdowns. I mean, that's what I blame it on. That you played against a team that just was spot on and had it going down. And, and then on the opposite side, if he played that well, that means that the defense allowed him to.
Right. Not only did they show up, they came to play.
You better believe it. And they showed
they acted like it was the playoffs.
They showed out. Green, 7 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. I mean, they just had a great game. You can't always beat up on the quarterback, because they lose. The other team had a great game. And then on the flip side, here we go when we're talking about his brother Peyton Manning. Denver over Carolina, which is no surprise, 36-14. They won 4 consecutive games. So that lets you know that Denver has found their groove.
Right.
Peyton Manning has, he's beginning to lead his team. He's beginning to do what a leader does. He had 301 passing yards. He connected on 71% of his passes.
Well,
that's just amazing.
I don't really think there was any doubt about Peyton's skills, okay?
Oh, of course not.
It was just a matter of whether or not the team began to gel up with him.
Yeah.
The defense,
as far as the coach, you mean?
No, the offensive line,
blocking Denver. I got you.
And the whole play call.
Yeah, getting it together.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the truth. I mean, you got to give time for that. Thank God it didn't take a long time, though. And I think that shows and goes to the skill of Peyton Manning to be able to come together with your team so quickly and turn that situation around for the better. And now you're looking at, Denver. Being in the playoffs, man, and I'm telling you, people are rooting for Peyton Manning because people want to see Peyton Manning win, and I would like to see him win.
He got the skills, though. Peyton Manning has the skills
and the consistency. I think.
Oh, he definitely has the consistency.
If he got some wide receivers, running backs, offensive linemen, and a good defense, hey,
yeah.
He can go all the way.
And then, we were talking about the defense, and we also talking about special teams. I mean, look at Trendon Holiday. He ran that pass back, that punt return, 76 yards for a touchdown. You got to have some help from your special teams. You got to have some help from your defense. All together, that's what winning is all about. We'll be right back with you in a few seconds, y'all. We having a good time today. Go ahead. This is SIBN Sports Radio broadcast. Listen, when the coaches start ranting, it ain't nothing to be played with. But speaking of put your name on it, did you see the report about the Jets, how they're treating Tebow?
Yeah, I read that.
Okay, let me ask you a question now. Listen, all you fans out there that listen to SIBN Sports, first of all, I want to say thank you, appreciate your support. But listen, y'all got to talk to me about this one. Because how do you go from hero to zero in 50 seconds flat? I mean, they freaking kicking the heck out of this boy. But the bad part about it is, I'm saying the same thing. Put your name on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to talk about Tebow, and you're going to say that he doesn't play well and you don't like him on your team or whatever you want to call it, put your name on it. Who you out there talking on that team? This Jets players talking about him.
You know, everybody got an opinion.
Right.
And see, this is what's going on now.
Right.
Is that opinions sometimes become the best recipe for entertainment. Because it keeps things up. So this is what we got going on right now with New York. New York is a Big Apple. You remember, Big Apple live off entertainment and opinion.
Yeah.
So if everybody got an opinion and they want to talk about it, this is going to keep the fire burning.
Yes. That's true.
Especially about Tebow of all people. This is like 24 months and running now.
Yeah, and my thing is this. Sanchez hasn't won. He hasn't done crap either all season. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, what is it going to hurt to put Tebow in the game and let him play? I mean, you're already like 3-6 or something.
Well, what they're doing, they letting them go in. They letting them go back and forth. They're going to let the other quarterback go, and then Tebow go, and then the other one quarterback. And so when Tebow gets in there, everybody's, yay. And when the other quarterback goes back, it's kind of quiet.
Yeah, but the fans love Tebow, but
it's not
the team doesn't like Tebow. So you're going to make a decision not to put him in because of what the team is saying about him? And I'm going to tell you right now, because he's the quarterback, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't want to play. Because if y'all talking about me, and I don't know if it's the line or who it is, if they on the offensive line, and you think I suck, that means you're going to let them come and get me. I ain't playing. Tebow, if I was you, I'd just tell them I ain't interested. Shoot, let them send you somewhere else where you can play some football.
He already don't sign on the line.
Now, this is going to be an interesting Sunday. The Steelers, as you know, Big Ben is hurt.
He's out.
Sternoclavicle joint. His shoulder hurt, but it's not a long-term situation.
I don't know, Claire.
It's just sprained, right? So he'll be back, but he's not playing against the Ravens.
Well, let's hope that he heals properly and comes back, unlike Vic, and gets re-injured in the same. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, that's true.
Well, you know, we had 3.
Be nice.
I mean, while we're talking about it, we actually had 3 quarterbacks that left with concussions this week. That was Smith of the 49ers, Jay Cutler of the Bears, and also Michael Vick. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this week with the teams that are missing their quarterbacks, and then with Byron Leftwich coming out to play.
But do that mean that the equipment is not working properly? That people are hitting hard.
I know. Well, you know what? They're not.
Some people really want it.
They've always hit. Come on, y'all.
No, some people are not hitting at all. They say.
Yeah,
anyway, that's a whole other topic.
Well, that's on the topic.
Some people say they're not playing football like they used to play football.
Well, they're not, and you know why? It's because of the fines and everything that have happened with this head-to-head tackling. You have to be careful with that because that's a fine automatically, and you could get thrown out of the game.
Like
so everybody's
more
careful about how they tackle. So that's a huge issue. But yeah, we got something going on. I mean, you got 3 concussions in 1 week. That's a lot.
It's got to be the equipment, Claire.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
And that's why they're testing equipment right now, trying to find some stuff that's going to work. Now, listen, I want to talk about something really, really huge this week. Alabama had their first loss to Texas A&M. This was a big game. Everybody was, Alabama got beat. And then Georgia came out and burnt Auburn 38-0, which was expected for Georgia to win. So that does a lot for Georgia in the standings. Alabama is now 9-1. Georgia is also 9-1. You still have 3 undefeated teams: Oregon, Kansas State, and Notre Dame. It's going to be interesting to see how the college football ends up this year. It's very exciting. You got a lot of teams at the top.
Well, that's how we want it. That's what makes the BC Bowl.
That's what makes it
more fun.
That's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
And then Ohio State is trying to go for 12-0. They're 10-0, and they can't even go to the bowl because they're on restriction. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah, they're actually on restriction, Ohio State, right now, so they can't even go. So that's going to be interesting. But, you know, college football is just as exciting because that's where we get our football players for the NFL.
All right, we'll be back, y'all.
Excited. We'll be back, y'all. Y'all know I'm excited. I can't help myself. We'll be back.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
All right, y'all, we're right back at you here at the SIBN Sports Desk. And you know I have a guest here with me, Stan Warren, and also our producer, the coach, Marcus Select. We've been talking about some great things going on in football, but I want to switch gears real quick and go over into the NBA. Boy, what an exciting weekend over at the Lakers. Los Angeles must have lost their mind. They go to Phil's house, Phil Jackson, that is. The Phil Jackson, 11 championship rings on his fingers. Wait a minute, he can't get them all on there.
He's got an extra ring. He needs toes.
He needs some toes to help out, right? They go to his house on Saturday. They sit down with Phil Jackson. They come up with a plan to bring him back to the Lakers. They leave his house, Phil thinking he has the job. All of a sudden on Sunday night, they choose. Now, I don't know how to say this man's name, but it's Mike D'Antonio.
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce his name. D'Antonio. To take over the Lakers instead of Phil Jackson.
Well, you know why, Claire?
I know why. Because Kobe didn't want him. I told you. See, I told everybody. I'm going to tell you something. Not only that, he also coached Nash, who was MVP twice under him.
Right.
So Nash is like, bring him in. He's going to be perfect for this team. And where we're going.
People got to understand, and if you listen to all these out there, is that Kobe idolized this man when he was growing up.
He did. And they talked about his number 8. That's where he got it from.
It's the same number. That's where he got it from.
Isn't that amazing?
So the only thing Kobe wants to do is to be coached by a man that he idolized all his years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Before, because he done everything else. He don't got all the accolades and medals and honors, except his
that one thing. And you know what? I mean, so is that Kobe's way of saying, hey, I'm almost done. This will be my final kit and caboodle, so to speak, for me to be able to have an opportunity to be coached by him.
Well,
you know?
It's another notch. It's another notch, right. I think, for him.
It's a notch for him because he's still young. You know?
Yeah. And you know what's funny, though, is that Kobe could have that much pull for them to decide not to bring Phil Jackson back to that team when that's what everybody wanted.
But understand, Phil got, 11, 12 rings? The only thing that was stopping from bringing Phil back is the perks that he wanted, because he don't have nothing to lose. He can say, I want somebody to do me a pedicure before each game.
Right.
I want somebody to drive me around. I want to fly on a different airplane from the team.
But when you get a superstar status and you've earned the ranks, I'm sorry. I mean, you can ask for what you want, I think.
and that's what Phil did. So when they looked at it, but Kobe was the one who had the last
And that's
word.
what I believe more than anything else, more than what Phil wanted, more than what Phil was asking for, more than his superstar status. I believe that Kobe Bryant stood up and said, I'd rather have this guy. I really would not like to work with Phil again. We worked okay together because, you know, Shaq was more about Phil than anybody was. And so I believe that was the determining factor in that situation. Well, we'll see what happens to the Lakers. And then they, you know, we all know that they got rid of second-year coach Mike Brown. Magic said that he was just not a good fit for the team.